Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into all things Cowboys. Today we're going to keep unpacking the team's performance from their Week 1 preseason matchup. There's so much to discuss, especially the injury front, some standout players, and a few rookies who made an impact. Let's start right there because it's been a roller coaster so far when it comes to the health of this squad. Injuries are always a tough subject in football, and unfortunately, the Cowboys have seen a fair share of them early on. Starting with Joe Milton. He's the quarterback who left the field with a bruised elbow. The good news is, from everything that came out after the game, it doesn't seem like it's going to keep him sidelined for long. The coaches were pretty calm about it, which usually means it's nothing too serious. It's always a relief when a key player can avoid major downtime. Still, we'll keep an eye on how he's feeling as the preseason moves forward. Having a stable quarterback room is crucial, especially when you're trying to figure out the depth chart and who's going to step up in the regular season. Then there's Sadiq Charles, who suffered a hyperextended knee. This one's a bit trickier because the news on that came out only after we did our initial reactions, so it caught a lot of people by surprise. Knee injuries can be unpredictable. Sometimes players bounce back quickly, other times it's a slow process. The Cowboys will definitely run more tests to understand the full extent of the damage. Considering how important the offensive line is to the whole operation, losing someone like Charles could disrupt the team's chemistry. Depth on the O-line is a constant talking point for Dallas, so any injury there tends to ripple through the offense. Robert Rashel also caught our attention, not because he was benched, as some initially thought, but due to a hamstring tweak. And that's never good news. Hamstring injuries are infamous for lingering and being difficult to shake off, especially for players who rely on explosiveness and agility. Rashel figures to be a significant part of the rotation, so how long he stays out could really shape the team's running game in the near term. It's clear the Cowboys have been battling a handful of soft tissue injuries this preseason, and that's a real concern. You don't want your key contributors constantly sidelined or playing hurt, especially when you're trying to build momentum and rhythm before the regular season kicks off. Now, let's talk about some of the players who stood out despite the tough injury news. One name I want to highlight is Phil Mafah. I feel like he didn't get the spotlight he deserved during our initial instant reaction, but after watching the tape again and breaking down the run game, I was genuinely impressed. Mafah reminded me a lot of the player he was back at Clemson, strong, powerful, and tough to bring down. He ran hard, showed good vision, and didn't lose many yards on his carries. The way he carried himself on the field was encouraging, especially for a guy fighting for a spot on a roster. His best run, a 14-yard burst, was unfortunately wiped out due to a pre-snap penalty, which was frustrating to watch. But even if we don't count that one, his overall impact was noticeable. His yards after contact stats improved significantly, meaning he's doing a better job finishing runs and pushing forward even after defenders hit him. Alongside Mafah, Malik Davis also made a strong case for himself. Davis had 7 carries for 63 yards, which works out to about 9 yards per carry, an elite number by any standard. His ability to gain yards after contact stood out, making him a real weapon out of the backfield. The Cowboys' running game overall looked pretty solid, with both guys complementing each other well and keeping the defense guessing. On the other hand, Duche Vaughn appeared to have a limited role, perhaps due to pitch count management or where he fits in the pecking order. He had just 3 carries for 17 yards, and like Mafah, had a run called back by a penalty. Still, the team ran the ball effectively when given the chance, which is promising for an offense that wants to establish balance. However, it's worth noting that several of the team's top running backs didn't play in that game. Javonte Williams was a healthy scratch, Miles Sanders was out due to injury, and Hunter Lipke also didn't suit up. That leaves a lot of uncertainty around who will ultimately claim the lead back role once everyone is healthy. If Sanders doesn't get back soon, the competition for that spot could become fierce. The combination of Mafah and Davis is looking solid, but there might not be much room left for others once the roster starts to take shape. Phil Mafah's status is still a bit up in the air. He's likely to make the practice squad at the very least, but whether he cracks the main roster depends on how things shake out over the next few weeks. Switching gears to defense, the Cowboys' run defense had a mixed outing. Early on against the Rams, they looked good, holding the lead backs in check and limiting big plays. Blake Corum was the top back for the Rams with just over 3 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns, while Jarquez Hunter had a similar yards per carry average, showing that Dallas was mostly containing the Rams' ground attack. But the defense faded as the game went on, allowing more yards and giving up some key runs. Cody Schrader popped off with nearly 60 yards on just 5 carries, and Jordan Waters, someone not even on the usual radar, racked up over 5 yards per carry. It was a tale of two halves, with the Cowboys starting strong, but letting the Rams gain momentum late in the game. Defensive tackle Maisie Smith played 14 snaps, and honestly, sometimes not noticing a player on the field can be a good sign. They're doing their job without making costly mistakes. Smith was steady, not flashy, but he didn't give up any big plays or become a liability. It's the kind of performance coaches appreciate, even if it doesn't show up on the highlight reel. On the other hand, some players like Toy, who saw almost 4 dozen snaps, looked a bit overexposed. He was better early, but faded later, which might just be a sign that he needs fewer snaps to be at his best. The defensive tackle position is still a concern for Dallas, as depth and impact play at that spot remain questions. Now, moving on to some of the rookies and newcomers, because this is where things get really interesting. Tyler Booker, an offensive guard, didn't play in this particular game, which sparked the classic debate, rest versus rust. It's understandable to want to protect players from injury during preseason, but at the same time, reps in live action are invaluable for chemistry and evaluation. I'm all for giving Booker some meaningful snaps in the next game to see what he can do and help build that cohesion along the offensive line. If the Cowboys want to get serious about their line, playing starters and key backups more in preseason makes sense, especially before the regular season heat kicks in. Donovan Ezraku, one of the top rookies who did get on the field, showed promise. In just 17 snaps, he managed to generate pressure and was credited with a quarterback hit. While it might not have been a full sack or a highlight-worthy hit, it was a sign that he can disrupt the pocket. Defensively, he was solid against the run, too, which is key for a young edge rusher trying to earn a spot. He's not yet the superstar PR. Other rookies like Zion Child also impressed in their limited action. And even though Savone Rebel and Jaden Blue didn't see the field, there's optimism about their chances once they're healthy. Jaden Blue's recovery from a bone bruise and ankle injury will be critical if the Cowboys want him contributing early in the preseason. Shamar James, another 5th-round pick, had a solid game with consistent involvement, especially against the run. He got caught on one costly coverage mistake, but otherwise he looked like a player who understands the game well and is around the ball a lot. Those kinds of plays are often part of the learning curve for young defensive backs. One undrafted rookie, Johnny Cornelius, deserves a shout-out for his performance. He played 35 snaps without allowing a single pressure, which is impressive for any lineman, let alone a rookie. According to PFF grades, he was actually the highest-rated offensive lineman for Dallas in that game. In contrast, Kemai had some struggles, including allowing a sack and having issues in the run game. Overall, Cornelius and TJ Bass showed promising signs, with Bass demonstrating versatility, playing both left guard and center. Finally, Tommy Aime-Basote had a quieter preseason so far. His 17 snaps weren't enough to make a significant impact, and highlights of the game showed him getting pushed around a bit, notably by the Rams center Willie Lampkin, who really dominated his matchup. It's still early, and Basote will need to step up to make a lasting impression. There's a lot to digest from this first preseason game. Injuries have rattled the team, but a few players have stepped up, showing potential to contribute this season. The running game looks solid with fresh options. The defense has areas to improve, especially at tackle, and the rookies are gradually making their case for roster spots. As the preseason continues, it's going to be fascinating to see how the Cowboys manage their depth and develop chemistry, all while dealing with the inevitable wear and tear of football. Moving forward, let's dive deeper into some of the key themes emerging from the Cowboys' preseason journey so far and explore what it means for the team's trajectory heading into the regular season. One thing that's really clear is that the coaching staff is still in evaluation mode, testing out combinations and trying to get a better feel for who can step up when it counts. Preseason games, especially the first ones, often serve as a trial by fire for players on the roster bubble, and Dallas is no exception. The mixture of veterans nursing minor injuries and rookies getting their first taste of NFL action creates a dynamic atmosphere where nothing is set in stone. On the offensive front, the line continues to be a focal point. The O-line is the foundation of any successful offense, and the Cowboys know that well. The question remains, who will emerge as the reliable starters, and who will be depth pieces? Players like Tyler Booker are on the cusp, and their performance in upcoming games could be pivotal. Coaches want to see consistency, the ability to handle NFL-caliber pass rushers, and effectiveness in run-blocking schemes. Booker's absence last game sparked debate, but the next outing will likely offer a clearer picture of his readiness. The pressure is on because the Cowboys need a sturdy line to protect their quarterback and open lanes for the backs. Speaking of quarterbacks, it's interesting that no one from the Cowboys quarterback room saw game action in Week 1. That signals a level of confidence in their health, but also suggests a strategy to keep them fresh and avoid unnecessary risk in the preseason's early stages. Joe Milton's bruised elbow might have played a part in the decision not to push anyone too hard on Sunday. Still, the quarterback situation remains a story to watch. The depth chart behind Dak Prescott needs to be solid, especially if the team wants to maintain competitiveness should injury strike. It's worth wondering when we'll see those backups get meaningful reps in a game setting, as practice reps only go so far. Turning back to the running game, the mix of backs getting snaps shows the Cowboys want a versatile, dynamic group that can handle various roles. Malik Davis has already made a strong impression with his explosive runs and ability to gain yards after contact, which is crucial for the grind of the NFL. Phil Maffa complements him well with a power running style that grinds out tough yards and shows durability. Meanwhile, Duche Vaughn's limited snaps suggest he's either being managed carefully or still earning his place in the rotation. This depth is essential because of the wear and tear running backs face, and having multiple players who can contribute keeps the offense unpredictable and fresh. On the defensive side, the Cowboys line is under the microscope. Defensive tackles like Maisie Smith and Toy are working to establish themselves, but the inconsistent performances highlight ongoing challenges. The Cowboys need interior defenders who can clog running lanes and generate pressure without relying solely on edge rushers. The fading run defense late in the Rams game exposed some vulnerabilities, and that's an area where the team must tighten up quickly. Defensive success often comes down to controlling the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys' ability to do that will significantly influence their season. Among the rookies, Donovan Ezeraka's impact was a positive sign. Creating pressure in limited snaps shows he has the potential to be a disruptive force. Rookie edge rushers often take time to adjust to the speed and complexity of the NFL, so seeing him make plays early bodes well. Similarly, Zion Child's contributions on defense add to the optimism about the team's young talent pool. It's encouraging when rookies can hold their own and even excel against experienced opposition, especially in a league where the transition from college to pro is notoriously difficult. Other rookies like Shamar James and Johnny Cornelius demonstrated that they can contribute meaningfully, even if there were moments of inexperience or mistakes. James' coverage lapse that led to a touchdown is a reminder that the learning curve is steep, but the overall play was solid enough to merit attention. Cornelius' clean sheet in terms of pressures allowed speaks volumes about his technical ability and readiness to step up when called upon. Meanwhile, TJ Bass showed versatility and competence, valuable traits for any player looking to secure a roster spot. In contrast, Tommy Aim Baso's quieter performance shows that not every rookie hits the ground running. Some players need more time to adapt to the professional level, especially in physically demanding positions like the offensive line. Seeing him struggle against a dominant center from the Rams isn't necessarily a red flag, but it's a reminder that development takes time, and preseason snaps are as much about learning as they are about evaluation. The rumor mill is buzzing with excitement as whispers suggest the Dallas Cowboys might have pulled off a major coup by securing Danielle Hunter to bolster their defensive line. This potential acquisition could signal a new era of dominance for the Cowboys, who have long been searching for a game-changing presence on defense. Hunter, known for his relentless pass-rushing abilities and physical prowess, would fit perfectly into Dallas's vision of a dominant defensive front. If the Cowboys succeed in finalizing this deal, it would not only enhance their defensive scheme, but also send a strong message to the rest of the NFL that Dallas is serious about contending for championships. Fans and analysts alike are speculating about how Hunter's skill set could be the missing piece in a defense that has shown flashes but never quite reached its full potential. The mere possibility of Hunter donning the Cowboys star logo has created an electric atmosphere among supporters, fueling debates on social media and sports talk shows nationwide. With rumors swirling, the NFL community is eager to see if this speculation will transform into reality, potentially reshaping the competitive landscape in the coming seasons. Adding Danielle Hunter to the Dallas Cowboys defensive line could revolutionize their defensive strategy, giving them a formidable edge against some of the league's most potent offenses. Hunter's reputation as a relentless and agile pass rusher would complement the Cowboys' existing defensive talents, creating a front line that offenses would find difficult to penetrate. The potential signing raises questions about how Dallas's defensive coordinator might adjust schemes to maximize Hunter's impact, possibly shifting the team's approach to creating pressure on quarterbacks. Speculators suggest that Hunter's presence could free up other defenders to make plays, increasing overall defensive productivity. This rumored acquisition also brings to light the Cowboys' aggressive stance in the offseason, reflecting a front office eager to capitalize on available talent to close the gap with rival teams. If the deal materializes, it might inspire other franchises to ramp up their efforts in the defensive market, igniting a new wave of strategic battles for elite defensive players. The Cowboys' rumored interest in Hunter underscores their determination to rebuild a defense capable of carrying the team deep into playoff runs, setting the stage for a thrilling next chapter. The buzz surrounding Danielle Hunter's potential move to Dallas goes beyond just on-field performance. It touches on the psychological impact such a signing could have on both the team and its opponents. Hunter, known for his tenacity and work ethic, brings not just physical skills, but also a veteran presence that could galvanize the Cowboys' locker room. Observers speculate that his leadership qualities might help mentor younger players, fostering a culture of resilience and competitiveness. The Cowboys, always a franchise with high expectations, would benefit from Hunter's ability to inspire and push teammates to raise their game. Moreover, opponents facing a Hunter-enhanced Dallas defense would likely approach games with increased caution and preparation, knowing the Cowboys' front line could disrupt passing games more effectively than ever before. This potential signing could also influence the Cowboys' draft and free agency strategies moving forward, as the team recalibrates around a defense now featuring a feared edge rusher. As the rumor persists, the excitement surrounding what Hunter could bring to Dallas continues to build, painting a picture of a defense ready to reclaim its status as one of the league's most intimidating units. Financial and contractual discussions are reportedly underway behind the scenes, fueling further speculation about the feasibility of Dallas acquiring Danielle Hunter. Sources close to the negotiation hint at a complex dance between Hunter's camp and the Cowboys' front office, with both sides carefully weighing the terms to strike a deal that benefits everyone. The Cowboys, known for balancing star signings with salary cap considerations, may have to make tough decisions elsewhere on the roster to accommodate Hunter's contract demands. Yet, the potential rewards of landing such a high-caliber player might outweigh the financial gymnastics required, especially if it propels Dallas into serious Super Bowl contention. Industry insiders speculate that the timing of this move could be strategic, aiming to finalize a deal before other interested teams increase their offers. This kind of competitive bidding war could drive up Hunter's market value, making Dallas's current position critical in securing the player. As negotiations progress, fans and analysts watch closely, hoping the rumors of this defensive powerhouse joining the Cowboys will soon become official news, marking a pivotal moment in the franchise's recent history. While the deal remains unconfirmed, the possibility of Danielle Hunter joining the Dallas Cowboys has sparked wide-ranging discussions about the team's future prospects and championship potential. Should this rumor become reality, it could serve as the catalyst for a defense that not only stifles opponents, but also energizes the entire organization. The Cowboys, with their storied history and passionate fan base, would find renewed hope in the presence of a player capable of altering the course of games single-handedly. The impact on team dynamics, coaching strategies, and season expectations will be profound, potentially ushering in an era where Dallas is feared for both offense and defense. The NFL landscape could shift as other teams scramble to respond to a Cowboys defense suddenly brimming with new talent and confidence. Until an official announcement, the chatter around this rumored acquisition will continue to dominate conversations among football fans and experts alike, keeping everyone on edge for what could be one of the most exciting moves in recent memory. The anticipation surrounding Danielle Hunter and the Dallas Cowboys is palpable, making this offseason one to watch very closely. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.